Chapter 2. Makkah, the Sacred City. Long before the rise of Islam, Makkah was already one of the most respected cities in Arabia. Unlike many famous cities of the ancient world, Makkah was not built beside a great river. It had no vast farmlands, no royal palaces, and no powerful army. Yet every year, thousands of travelers crossed the scorching desert to reach this remarkable valley. The reason was simple. At the center of Makkah stood the Kaaba. According to Islamic tradition, the Kaaba was originally built by Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, together with his son, Prophet Ismail, peace be upon him, as a house dedicated to the worship of the one true God. For generations, pilgrims came to honor this sacred sanctuary. Over time, however, the original message of pure monotheism gradually faded. Idols were introduced into the Kaaba and around its surroundings. Different tribes brought their own idols, believing they represented powerful beings that could bring blessings, protection, or intercede with God. By the 6th century, historical Islamic sources described the Kaaba as being surrounded by numerous idols, while the sanctuary itself remained deeply respected throughout Arabia. Even tribes constantly at war with one another considered the area around the Kaaba a sacred zone where fighting was forbidden. This unique status helped Makkah become not only a religious center, but also one of Arabia's most important commercial cities. The rise of Quraysh. The guardianship of the Kaaba belonged to the tribe of Quraysh. Among all the tribes of Arabia, Quraysh enjoyed exceptional respect. Their influence did not come from military conquest. Instead, it came from their responsibility to care for the Kaaba and serve the pilgrims who visited Makkah, providing water to travelers, welcoming visitors, protecting the sanctuary. These responsibilities earned Quraysh honor across the Arabian Peninsula. Over time, they also became highly successful merchants. Each year, caravans traveled north toward Syria during the summer and south toward Yemen during the winter. These commercial journeys are referenced in the Quran, highlighting the security and prosperity that Allah had granted the people of Quraysh. Through trade, they established relationships with neighboring civilizations. They encountered Christians in Syria. They traded with merchants connected to the Byzantine Empire. They interacted with Jewish communities living in different parts of Arabia. As a result, Makkah became more connected to the outside world than many people imagine today. Although it remained a relatively small city, it stood at the crossroads of commerce, religion, and culture. Society before Islam. Arabian society possessed qualities that inspired admiration. Generosity was deeply valued. Keeping promises was considered a matter of honor. Poetry flourished unlike anywhere else. The greatest poets could move entire tribes with nothing more than their words. Poetry competitions attracted audiences from distant regions, and winning such competitions brought lasting prestige. Family ties were equally important. People took immense pride in knowing their ancestry. Children learned the names of their forefathers for many generations. Yet, alongside these noble qualities, existed serious social problems. Tribal conflicts frequently turned into prolonged wars. Power often belonged to the strongest. Those without tribal protection could easily become victims of injustice. Practices such as gambling, excessive drinking, and usury had become common in many parts of Arabia. Historical sources also record that some tribes practiced female infanticide by burying newborn daughters alive. However, historians note that this was not a universal practice across all Arab tribes, nor was it accepted everywhere. Its extent remains a subject of historical discussion. Islam would later condemn this practice completely and affirm the dignity and value of every human life. This balanced understanding is important because history is often more complex than simple generalizations. A search for truth. Despite the widespread practice of idol worship, not everyone in Arabia believed that stone idols deserved worship. There were individuals who rejected polytheism entirely. Islamic historical sources refer to these individuals as the Hanifs. They believed in the one God of Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him. Although they did not belong to an organized religious community, they searched sincerely for the original faith of monotheism. Among the most well-known figures associated with this search was Zayd ibn Amr ibn Nufail, who openly rejected idol worship and sought the religion of Prophet Ibrahim. At the same time, Jewish communities lived in places such as Yathrib, later known as Medina. Christian communities were present in Najran and parts of northern Arabia. Many Arabs had therefore heard stories about earlier prophets such as Musa, peace be upon him, and Isa, peace be upon him. Some even knew that previous scriptures spoke of another prophet who would come in the future, yet few could have imagined where or when that promise would be fulfilled. A world about to change. By the middle of the 6th century, Arabia stood at a turning point. The great empires fought endless wars. Trade connected distant civilizations. Old beliefs dominated religious life. But beneath the surface, history was quietly preparing for one of its greatest transformations. In the southern lands of Arabia, a powerful ruler was making a decision that would soon place Makkah in extraordinary danger. He was assembling an army unlike anything the Arabs had ever seen. Among his soldiers marched enormous animals that most people in Arabia had never witnessed before. Elephants, and their destination was the Kaaba itself.